I'm here with Gordon Ross.
Hi, Derek. I am a long-standing digital design and development professional based out of Vancouver, working to try and make the public service better alongside provincial governments in BC, Alberta, a little bit of work with the feds over the years, and at a municipal level in Canada as well too.
Amazing. And you made a somewhat spicy LinkedIn post leading into FWD50.
It was my pre-mortem on the conference. My post essentially was like, I tend to experience one of three emotions, I think, when it's done. Number one is one of like inspiration, where I'm fired up, right? The second feeling is that of reassurance, where I listen to speakers talk and I think, that looks a lot like the practice that we do back home, and they're struggling with the same problems, and it's nice to know we're not alone. And then the third one is obviously a bit of disappointment. And I was picking up on what Alistair and Hillary said at the end of last year's FWD50. Here we are at the end of 2024, and we've been having similar talks, saying a lot of the similar things, and yet what's changed? Maybe I'm hopeful in so much as I do desperately want there to be great conversation, and yet it does not feel like an optimistic time. There's a lot of hard work to be done.
So I guess the obvious question is, now 2 days of FWD50, how are you feeling?
Thanks to Emily Tavoulareas, I am curious about a question that she posed at the end of that talk represents where we might need to go next. And she brought it back to what she described as the nexus of technology and power. And so I think her talk was very descriptive, very analytic, in so much as she laid out the what, and she laid out the so what, like why we should care about this, and then she left us with a cliffhanger, which is the now what. I think that's the question. Yep. The now what. I think it's about a bigger question around the values that exist in the work and exist in how we talk about government, about public problems, about technology, about digital, and about power, ultimately.
Well, I think it was interesting because your post really resonated for me, because I had similar feelings coming into FWD50, particularly around this idea that the public service at all levels in Canada is feeling depressed, disempowered. This is a time when we really need to pull up our socks. This is a really important time for Canada. We need everybody to jump in and lean in and make things better. And so I was worried coming in because that's not what I'd heard the public service was at. The public service seemed to be a bit lost. But when I came here, I was inspired by the energy and enthusiasm. It's like, okay, people are ready to get back into it. People are ready to step back in to answer that exact question of now what and how do we get there. So I'm actually quite energized about what's coming out of this and where we're going to go together. I think the real test will be what happens in the weeks and months after FWD50. How do we organize the community? What can we start actively doing together to build this future? It's time to pull up our socks and get to work.
Indeed. Lots of work to be done.